In today's video, I'm going to be talking about where our heart is. I believe that our heart is where our intentions are at. When you think about why you produce things, why you go after things, where your actions are at, our actions aren't necessarily bad or wrong or good. It's more so going a level deeper than that and looking at where our intentions are at. And I started thinking about this because I started asking myself, why do I want to go after a weight loss goal? Or why do I want to go after a new house? Or why do I want to take action on getting more clients? What is the source behind the actions that I take? And a lot of times it comes out of fear, like fear of what other people will think about me. Let's say I allow myself to get heavier, or I allow myself to have a lower paying job, or I allow myself to live in a modest home. Nothing wrong with those things. But if I think about that, it sparks a little bit of fear in me because maybe people will think a certain way about me. I'll lower my status and I'll be judged based off of what society or what other people deem as good or being set in life, right? You always hear that term of like, oh, if you get this job and it's got a pension and it's high paying and you get all the vacation you want, you're set. You don't have to worry. There's no more problems. It's like we're looking forward to this life of zero problems or no problems. And in reality, problems are good because it's what reminds us about so there's a real in the moment fear of, is this video gonna come out the best video? Like, are people going to actually want to watch this? That's a fear. In the moment, true fear. And it's like, why? Well, people aren't gonna like it. They're gonna speak poorly of it. And then that's going to reflect poorly on me. People are going to think poorly of me. My fears should not be there. My fear should be fearing the Lord only. And a lot of what drives us or what motivates us is that fear of what other people would think. And when we have problems, when we have things that aren't going to go our way, that aren't perfect, it allows us to rely on God. It allows us to be humbled and bring that pride down. I'm in constant conversation with God when I'm facing a problem. A lot of times when we experience fear, our mind is focused on whatever we're fearing, right? Like, I'm focused on this video. Is it going to come out the way it's supposed to be? Like, oh my gosh, it's going to come out poorly. And I'm focused on removing whatever it is that's causing the anxiety, the fear, which was, I felt like, oh, if my daughter comes in here and she ruins the video, I need to get her out of here. I need her to go and do something else. So I'm going to read a few Bible verses that talk about our intentions. When we go take action on something, is it to further the gospel? Is it to honor Christ? Is it to show our love for Christ? Is it for Him, or is it for our fear? Is it out of fear of what other people would think, or of not having or missing out? So this one right here, this first one that comes up, this is James 4. It says, you want something that you cannot have, so you commit murder. And you covet something. I just looked up covet, and covet means to strongly desire. And you covet something, but cannot obtain it. So you engage in quarrels and fights. So I had desire for this video to come out perfectly. And when my daughter comes in here, ruins the video, I'm like, get out of here. I'm already ready to engage in a fight with her. Fear not. Fear the Lord only. You do not have because you do not ask. When you ask, you do not get what you want because you do not ask for it with proper motives, seeking rather to indulge in your passions. And when we think of passions, like what we're passionate about, like I'm passionate about sports, about lifting, about things in this world. We think of what we're passionate about as positive a lot of times, but right here it's saying you're seeking rather to indulge in your passions. We could be passionate about pickleball, passionate about that, right? And so I'm asking for things out of what I'm passionate about. I want to indulge in my passions. And it's saying right here that if I ask God for something, it's not out of proper motives because I'm wanting to indulge in things that I'm passionate about. If you're not receiving what you're asking for, so like if we're operating out of fear of what could happen, I'm in fear of being able to pay my bills, or I'm in fear of what people would think about me if I went broke, or if I went for a career that was a lower status, what are people going to think of me? I'm operating out of fear. And so I'm going to ask God, can I have this job, or can I make more money? You're asking out of improper motives. And then it goes on to say, adulterers, do you not know that the love of the world results in enmity with God? Therefore, whoever wishes to be a lover of the world makes himself an enemy of God. Or do you suppose that it is without reason that Scripture says, He yearns jealously for the Spirit that He sent to live in us? Spirit in you, in me. But He has bestowed an even stronger grace. Therefore it says, God resists the proud, but He gives grace to the humble. So that goes back to what I was saying earlier about when we have problems, like maybe there's a problem of like being able to pay bills. That's going to humble me because if I'm pride, like, oh, I got all this money, I'm going to pay all my bills easily, or I have a lot in my bank account, or I have this grand home, I'm going to walk around with some confidence, with some pride. But when we have problems, we almost like, I'm not going to speak too loudly about myself or too confidently about myself, because when my problems are revealed or when they're exposed and I'm exposed, people are going to know the truth. They're going to know that I'm weak, that I'm in need, or I'm always in desperation, and I'm not as great as I thought I was. The other thing about fear is we always think about, what other people are going to think, for example. Like we have this idea of like, if I have this job, if I have this income, if I have this car in the garage, then I meet people's standards and what they say is good. Another verse that I'm going to go to is Corinthians 4. It says, "It is of no importance to me if I am to be judged by you or by any human court." So St. Paul is saying it's not important to me, if I'm judged by other people or by any human court. I do not even judge myself. I personally have nothing on my conscience, but that does not mean that I am innocent. It is the Lord who judges me. Therefore do not pronounce judgment before the appointed time until the Lord comes. He will bring to light what is hidden in darkness and will disclose the motives of our hearts. But I brought these verses up specifically for the judgment and not even judging ourselves. So a lot of times when it comes to comparing, so like if somebody's going to judge me based off of like what society sets and says this is the standard that we have to live by, or keeping up with the Joneses, for example, I'm then judging myself because I'm not living up to that level, to that standard. And so if I allow this fear to motivate me of like, oh, what are people going to think? Or I'm not living up to this standard, I'm then judging myself on top of that, based off of what other people's judgments are on where I should be at in life, whether I'm behind or I'm overachieving. And so he's saying, leave that behind. He's like, it's no importance to me what other people's judgments are, of what their standards are. He doesn't see importance on what other people's judgments are, then he's not going to judge himself, because that's the only way we can judge ourselves is I'm going off of this standard of what other people would think about me. So now I'm going to be comparing where I'm at versus where other people and what society is saying I should be at. So if you're judging yourself, look at why. Why? Go deeper and think like, why am I judging myself? Like, I don't have this great job that other people have. well, are you judging yourself because other people say that that job or this career is like the best career to go after, or this amount of income? And a lot of times it's because of, you've heard people, or when you're growing up, people are saying this is the, making over 100 grand or having 6 figures or having X amount of money in the bank is deemed good. This is what our standards are. And whenever you don't have that, then you judge yourself and say, oh, I'm not good because I don't have what they said I should have. All right, so I'm going to move on to Philippians now. This is Philippians 3. All these I once regarded as assets, but now I have come to regard them as losses because of Christ. Even more than that, I count everything as loss because of the supreme good of knowing Christ Jesus, my Lord. For his sake I have suffered the loss of all other things, and regard them as so much rubbish in order that I may gain Christ and be found in him. So when we ask for things and our intentions are off, even if we receive them, St. Paul is saying here, I see them as rubbish. They're nothing. Like, I don't even see it as a gain because I want to gain Christ and I want to be found in him. So he's even saying, like, even when we receive things, they're a loss to us. The only thing that is a win is to have Christ. Look at the intentions of like where we're going, why we're taking action. And then it's like, well, even if I did receive that thing, it's nothing. It's of the world. It's not going to matter, because if I gain that thing and I no longer have Christ, then I've lost everything. But if I go after Christ, then I gain everything. I only want the fear of the Lord. I only want to fear letting down God. And so if I only have that fear, my actions are going to reflect in that. But if I fear what other people are going to think, or if I fear what could potentially happen, then my actions are going to reflect that. So I'm going to end this video with this. God resists the proud, but he gives grace to the humble.